The judgment of the Concorded. The holographic star map flickered in the war room deep beneath Geneva's fortified bunker. Admiral Elena Vasquez stood with her hands clasped behind her back, watching red icons spread across human space like blood in water. Capella colony just went dark, reported Commander Chen, his voice tight. That's 12 worlds in 6 hours. Elena didn't flinch. She'd prepared for this moment her entire career. Around the circular table, the Joint Defense Council sat in grim silence. Generals, scientists, and politicians who'd spent decades pretending this day would never come. "Show me the Concorded fleet composition," Elena said. The map zoomed out. 300 warships, sleek crystalline vessels that bent light around their hulls, swept through human territory in perfect formation. The Galactic Concorded didn't fight wars often. They didn't need to. When the galaxy's oldest civilizations decided something threatened the cosmic order, they acted with cold precision. "They're not taking prisoners," Admiral Okonkwo said from Luna Command. His face on the screen looked hollow. "They're glassing the colonies. Atmosphere, infrastructure, everything. We're detecting 0 survivors from any targeted world." A civilian counselor, Martinez, Elena remembered, stood abruptly. "We need to negotiate. Send envoys. There has to be a misunderstanding." "There's no misunderstanding." Elena's voice cut through the panic. She pulled up a recording captured by a science station 3 days before it was destroyed. The image showed an alien, tall, elegant, with skin that shimmered like oil on water. Ambassador Vekthar of the HFY Concorded, speaking directly to humanity's emergency broadcast system. "Humanity of Earth?" The alien's translation rang with artificial calm. "Your species has been evaluated by the Concorded Council of 7 galaxies. Your technological advancement rate exceeds safe parameters by 470%. Your cultural volatility index marks you as a Category 5 threat to galactic stability." Vekthar's 3 eyes narrowed. "In the past 2 centuries, you have developed weapons technology that took the Keldari 3,000 years. You have colonized 47 worlds without establishing proper regulatory oversight. Your artificial intelligence research approaches forbidden thresholds. Your genetic modification programs ignore all ethical boundaries." The alien's hand gestured and data streams appeared. Humanity's achievements, damning in their speed, fusion weapons, quantum computing, neural interfaces, FTL communication, each breakthrough flagged in red. "You are children playing with antimatter," Vekthar continued. "The Concorded has witnessed 6 species like yours in recorded history. 3 destroyed themselves. 2 evolved into galaxy-spanning plagues. 1 required total extermination." The ambassador's face filled the screen. "We will not permit a 7th. Your colonies will be dismantled. Your population will be reduced to sustainable levels. Your technology will be restricted to pre-industrial standards. This is not punishment. This is mercy. We are saving you from yourselves, and saving the galaxy from you." The recording ended. Silence filled the war room like cold water. "They're not here to conquer us," Elena said quietly. "They're here to erase us." "Our fleets can't stop them," Admiral Okonkwo said. "Every engagement has been a massacre. Their shields absorb our weapons. Their antimatter lances cut through our ships like paper. We're not fighting a war. We're watching an execution." Martinez looked at Elena with desperate eyes. "Then what do we do?" Elena walked to the window overlooking the mountain valley. Somewhere far beneath her feet, carved into the planet's mantle, something waited. Something the Concorded didn't know about. 50 years ago, Elena began, Earth's top scientists ran probability models on first contact scenarios. The optimistic projections assumed we'd meet friendly neighbors. The realistic ones assumed indifference or competition. She turned back to the council. The pessimistic models assumed this, that we'd be too dangerous, too fast, too human for the galaxy to tolerate. She pulled up classified files that made the counselors lean forward. "Project Ragnarok," Elena said. "Authorized by executive order in 2185. Total black budget. Only 12 people on Earth knew it existed. The files showed something impossible. Construction diagrams of a vessel that dwarfed Earth's largest space stations. power systems that shouldn't work, weapons that violated known physics. We didn't just plan for war, Elena continued. We planned for a war we couldn't win conventionally. We built something the Concorded would never expect from a Category 5 threat. Commander Chen stared at the schematics. This can't be real. The energy requirements alone are met, Elena interrupted. The Defiance has been operational for 3 years. We've been waiting for the right crisis to reveal it, or hoping we'd never need to. She looked at each face around the table. The Concorded thinks we're reckless children. They think they understand humanity. They've studied our wars, our violence, our chaos. A cold smile touched her lips. But they've never understood our most dangerous trait. What's that? Martinez whispered. We plan for the nightmare scenarios. We build for the wars we pray will never come, and when someone threatens everything we love. Elena's eyes hardened. We don't surrender. We don't negotiate. We show them exactly why they were right to be afraid. She opened a secure channel. This is Admiral Vasquez. Authorization code Ragnarok Omega 7. Activate the Defiance. Deep beneath the Swiss Alps, in a cavern that had taken 50 years to excavate, something stirred. Lights flickered online. Systems that had slept in darkness began to wake. The galaxy was about to learn a hard truth. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't violence. It was preparation. Awakening the beast. The activation signal traveled through quantum-encrypted channels, passing through 17 relay stations before reaching the heart of the mountain. In the cavern 5 miles beneath the Alps, where no natural light had ever reached, the Defiance began to wake. Dr. Sarah Okonkwo, sister to the Admiral commanding Luna's defense, stood in the primary control center, her hand hovering over the final release switch. Around her, a skeleton crew of 40 engineers and officers waited at their stations. They'd spent years training for this moment, running simulations in secret, never quite believing it would come. Confirmation received, Sarah said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. Authorization verified. All stations. Begin startup sequence. Reactor 1 coming online, called out Lieutenant Park from the engineering bay. Temperature rising. 40,000 Kelvin, 50,000, stable at fusion threshold. The cavern rumbled. Dust fell from the ceiling, dust that had settled. Over 50 years of construction, of dreams and nightmares made real. Reactor 2 online. Reactor 3 online. Park's voice rose with excitement. Antimatter containment field stable. 0-point energy taps. My God, they're actually working. Power output exceeding projections by 12%. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. The theories had been sound, but theories didn't account for the terror of watching something this powerful come to life. Navigation systems initializing, reported Commander Nakamura. Gravitational sensors calibrating. Ma'am, the mass of this thing is actually warping space-time in measurable ways. The mountain above us just got 3 centimeters shorter. That's within acceptable parameters, Sarah replied. Weapons status? The weapons officer, a grizzled veteran named Torres who'd fought in the border wars, checked his displays. Spinal mass driver charging, antimatter torpedo tubes loading, plasma lance arrays warming up, and the Casimir cannons. He paused, shaking his head. The Casimir cannons are showing ready status. I still don't believe those things work. They work, Sarah said quietly. She'd watched the tests herself, seen the way they ripped holes in space-time, turned vacuum energy into weapons that unmade matter at the quantum level. They just shouldn't. Half of this ship shouldn't exist, Torres muttered. He was right. The Defiance was humanity's middle finger to physics itself. When the best minds on Earth realized they couldn't beat the Concorded with conventional technology, they'd stopped being conventional. They'd chased theories that respectable scientists called impossible. They'd built engines that drank from the 0-point field, weapons that weaponized the uncertainty principle, shields that existed in 11 dimensions. They'd built something the ancient species would never expect, because they'd stopped expecting the impossible millennia ago. Hull integrity check complete, reported another officer. All sections secure. The camouflage plating is holding. From orbit, this mountain still looks like solid rock. Time to change that, Sarah said. Begin excavation sequence. Above them, shaped charges that had been placed decades ago detonated in precise sequence. The mountain's northern face erupted outward in a controlled avalanche. Thousands of tons of rock that had hidden humanity's secret tumbled into the valley below, revealing the vast hangar doors beneath. Those doors, each one the size of a city block, began to open. We're getting seismic alerts from every monitoring station in Europe, Nakamura reported. This is going to look like a magnitude 7 earthquake. Let it, Sarah said. The Concorded are about to have bigger problems than earthquakes. In orbit, Concorded sensor officers detected the anomaly immediately. Energy signatures that made no sense. A gravitational distortion where none should exist. Then the thermal bloom as something massive began moving beneath the Earth's surface. Ambassador Vekthar received the alert on the command ship Eternal Judgment, currently positioned over Earth's moon. What is that? He demanded, watching the readings spike. His science officer, a methodical Keldari named Shen, studied the data with growing alarm. Unknown, Ambassador. The energy output suggests? No, that's impossible. No human facility generates power at this level. Show me visual, Vekthar ordered. The screen shifted to a satellite feed of the Swiss Alps. Where moments ago there had been only mountains, now there was movement. The hangar doors opened like the jaws of a sleeping god, and from the darkness beneath, something emerged. It rose slowly, defying gravity with casual contempt. The defiance was not beautiful. Beauty implied elegance, artistry, restraint. The defiance was a statement of intent. Its hull was black as the space between stars, studded with weapons arrays that glowed like angry stars. It stretched nearly 50 kilometers from bow to stern, its mass equivalent to a small moon. But it was the way it moved that made Vekthar's blood run cold. It didn't thrust or burn fuel. It simply denied gravity's authority, rising into the atmosphere as if the universe itself made way. That's impossible, Shen whispered. The engineering required. The power systems. Humans shouldn't have this technology for another 1,000 years. Vekthar understood then. The Concorded had made a fatal assumption. They'd believed humanity's danger came from their recklessness, their emotional volatility, their violent nature. They'd prepared to fight humanity's chaos. They hadn't prepared to fight humanity's fear. Send fleet-wide alert, Vekthar said, forcing calm into his voice. All ships combat formation. Target that vessel. But even as he gave the order, he watched. The Defiance clear Earth's atmosphere, its shields flickering online with a light show that painted the night sky purple and gold. Every weapon on that impossible ship was now aimed at his fleet. On the bridge of the Defiance, Admiral Elena Vasquez settled into the command chair. She'd transferred from Geneva the moment the ship powered up, taking a quantum tunnel that still made her stomach queasy. All stations report ready, Admiral, Sarah said from her position at the science console. Elena looked at the tactical display. 300 Concorded warships surrounded Earth and Luna, each one a masterpiece of ancient engineering. They'd fought and won 1,000 wars across 1,000,000 years. Open a channel, Elena said. Let's introduce ourselves. The communication went out on every frequency. When Vekthar's face appeared on the screen, Elena saw his 3 eyes widen slightly at the sight of her command bridge, at the weapons, displays behind her, at the power readings that made his own flagship look like a candle beside a sun. Ambassador Vekthar, Elena said pleasantly. I believe you wanted to discuss humanity's threat level. The alien composed himself. Admiral, this changes nothing. One ship cannot stop 300 of yours, Elena finished. Ambassador, this ship was designed by people who spent 50 years imagining every possible way you might try to kill us. Every weapon, every tactic, every advantage your ancient civilization might possess. She leaned forward. And then we built something that makes all of it irrelevant. You're bluffing. Elena smiled. It was not a kind smile. Commander Torres, please demonstrate the Casimir cannons. Target the asteroid belt. Pick something. Dramatic. Torres grinned. Aye, Admiral. Locking onto asteroid 433 Eros. Distance 218 million kilometers. He fired. The effect was instantaneous. In the asteroid belt, a chunk of rock 27 kilometers across simply ceased to exist. Not exploded, not vaporized, but unmade at the quantum level, leaving behind only a perfect sphere of nothingness that slowly collapsed as space-time healed itself. On the eternal judgment, every alarm screamed at once. That shot traveled faster than light, Shen reported, his voice hollow. It hit the target before we detected the firing sequence. That's causality violation. That's impossible. Elena's voice came through the comm, cold and clear. You called us dangerous, Ambassador. You said we evolved too fast. You were right. She paused. So let me be very clear. Leave our space. Leave our worlds. Leave our system. Or learn exactly how dangerous we can be. Vekthar stared at the impossible ship on his screen. At the human admiral who'd turned his certainty into doubt. At the readings that made his science officer recalculate reality itself. For the first time in his 900-year life, Ambassador, Vekthar felt something the Concord had rarely experienced. Fear.